Hello, YouTube. Well, yesterday I got to see the Snyder cut of Justice League. It took 4 hours to get through it. I was I thought I would stop for a tea break, but I didn't. I sat and consumed the entire 4 hours. It did seem like it was on for a lot longer. And when I went to bed last night, it was all in my head, absorbing it all. Uh, It's filmed in 6 parts, which is interesting, and there's like a little thing like coming of heroes and all that, like in each transition. Uh, I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be straight. I mean, I did see the theatrical the cinema release, and I quite enjoyed it actually. I'm probably gonna get shot down for saying that. It wasn't bad. But after watching this, it was totally utterly shit. The other film, the cinema release, to me, it was just like a load of clips banged together. It was just you realise it compared to this, it is quite bad. But yet again, it was all we had of this movie for several years. Well, when I watched this yesterday, I was totally blown away. The storylines, there's so much in this. The scope of it is just immense. It really opens up the DC universe. You know how big the world is, and that's what I loved about this film and the character development. Now, I'm going to make this a quick review. I'm not going to go into every aspect of it because people probably still haven't watched it yet. But there's so much more. I mean, you get a lot more with Cyborg, which I just totally, really enjoyed seeing that about his life, his relationship with his mother and his father, his accident where he becomes Cyborg. You get a lot more with Flash, Bruce Wayne's determination to get a team together. There's a lot more of Aquaman and his story. I mean, the backstories for all these characters, I mean, it is quite big with what they were showing. Now, I sat and watched this, and first hour I couldn't turn it off. I was just totally hooked. But I was fascinated. You get to see Desad. There's more to Steppenwolf now. You, there's so much more of his character that he's been kicked out because he betrayed Darkseid, and he's trying to get back into the new gods on Apocalypse, and he comes to Earth for the mother boxes, and you see Darkseid, and they go into the whole anti-life equation. The thing is obsessed with Darkseid, that it's on Earth, and you see him and he talks, and this is what I loved about it. You've even got Desad, with like Darkseid's chief body licker. Because I like Desad. He's one of them creepy like assistants, and he's dealing with Steppenwolf because Darkseid just won't entertain him, and until he mentions anti-life equation. But then the team starts coming together, and the battle scenes are much more ferocious. Like the first encounter with him under Gotham City. I mean, the other film, they took, it's Whedon definitely screwed up here on the other version. He really did. This, what I've seen today, it makes a lot more sense of Batman versus Superman as well. The scope of that, because it expands on it so much, especially with the future stuff. But the character development, now you don't see Superman for ages in this. And then when they bring him back and the black costume, it's great just to see the whole thing. The fight scenes with Superman and Steppenwolf, Superman just kicks his ass. Yeah, when he turns up, I mean, he's just laying into him like, and you're rooting for these guys, you really are. But there's something immense about this experience of watching this. Now, would I have gone to the cinema and see this? I think I would have done, actually. I know apparently I think it was filmed in IMAX or something. But I think I would sit in the cinema for 4 hours and watch this. But I'm a big comic fan. So for somebody like me, this is a dream come true. There's so much more to the story in this. There's so much in it, and especially the character developments. But to see Darkseid as well, to actually see him, I mean, the final battle scene where there's a boom tube open and you see Darkseid and New Gods on Apocalypse all stood there watching it and they're seeing them. And they're like, oh, Justice League are like ready. Well, come on, we're going to, take you on. And then the boom tube closes and then it's sort of like they've defeated Steppenwolf. I mean, he gets his head chopped off. I mean, man, Wonder Woman Superman tears his arm off, right? After he destroys his axe or whatever. And like Wonder Woman, as like Aquaman stabs him with trident, throws his body, and Wonder Woman, she just chops his head off. I mean, Gal Gadot is awesome in this film, but you're going all over the place, like to Atlantis, Themyscira, the origins. I mean, there's an appearance from the Martian Manhunter, which is absolutely superb. The whole backstory of when Apocalypse, Darkseid came to Earth from Apocalypse to conquer it, and that everybody teamed up and fought him. There's a lot more with that. I mean, this film, honestly, is for me. It was just exemplary. There will be people that probably didn't like it, but this is my opinion. I loved every minute of this, and I cannot wait to buy this on Blu-ray. Oh, I really cannot. It's got to go in my collection. To me, this so expanded on the DC universe, and that it was that missing bit that makes the other ones sort of. It all fits together very nicely. Now, the interesting bit is the epilogue, where you go into the future, because there's a load of hints about Superman turning evil in future, and you see the Joker, Deathstroke, and all this. You see all this, and like there's like Cyborg, Mirror, Batman, Deathstroke, the Joker, all living in this like post-apocalyptic world in the future, trying to bring down Superman or and Apocalypse. Darkseid just conquer the entire planet, and there's this like alternative future, which is just superb. And there's a great scene between Jared Leto's Joker and Batman, which is just absolutely awesome. I mean, definitely. I hope they do a sequel to this. I really do, because at the end of this, I mean, it does sort of finish, but there is a cliffhanger as well. But it's the scale and the scope of this movie is just incredible. I have to say, for me, this was just as good as an Avengers movie. Yeah, it really was. I mean, 4 hours of this was just sheer paradise for me. Do I recommend watching this? Yeah. I mean, some people probably can't sit through it for 4 hours. Turn it off for about half an hour. Have a tea break and then get back into it. Absolutely superb. Now, the reviews for this have been outstanding. The reviews have just been totally over the top, and I'm really, really happy. Now, when I was doing live streams, which I will be going back to them short soon, I was saying for a long time this existed, and some people said to me it doesn't exist. The Snyder Cut is just a myth. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I've banged on about this, and finally to see this was a dream come true. So I'm just totally impressed, blown away. Honestly, I think I'm going to be watching this again, because I think you're going to have to sit through this a couple of times. There's so much in there, I mean, when I went to bed last night after watching it, it was just I fell asleep and it was all in my head, the scale and the scope of this is awesome. But like a lot of people didn't like Batman versus Superman, and I get that. I really did like Batman versus Superman. I'll probably get shot down for that. But with Man of Steel, this and all the other DC movies, this is like the Rosetta Stone that fits everything together. That thing that was missing. To me, it puts Batman and Superman, Batman versus Superman. There's a lot more to it now. But the sequel, I don't know how it's going to be. You still get the bit on the boat with Deathstroke and Lex Luthor. You still get that, but then the epilogue goes way beyond that, right into the future as well. And this is what you want to see: the apocalyptic world of the future, an evil Superman. So where they're gonna, I think that in the second one you're probably gonna get the Injustice League building to Darkseid coming in the third one. I don't know. You don't know. It depends. I mean, it says when Bruce Wayne gets out of bed because Martian Manhunter turns up and says, "You've got me as an ally. How you unified to fight for your world against this? You've got me now." And Bruce Wayne, Batman, he's just not even phased. There's like another alien at the door. He's not phased by any of it. And it's just like, how many are they going to put on the team? So we need the Green Lantern now. And obviously, we do see a Green Lantern in the battle scenes thousands of years ago. But I mean, obviously, they'll add the Green Lantern to the rotor and probably some more heroes. But this is just going to be awesome. But the sequel, where would it go? I can't see Darkseid turning up in second one. Apparently, we're going to go to Apocalypse and they all get their asses kicked, and Darkseid conquers the Earth, and then it's about them getting the planet back. I mean, I don't know, but I thought that I think originally, if the other one had been it'd have been Injustice League, then Darkseid. I mean, I don't know where this would go. I mean, the cliffhanger is just that it finishes. I mean, the one thing it does finish. But the Martian Manhunter says Darkseid's on his way because he says, "Gather the Armada, we're going to Earth." That's it. So Darkseid's not so happy about being getting Steppenwolf's ass kicked. I mean, Wonder Woman is ruthless in this film. Well, when she just chops his head off and his head just goes flying through boom tube, is awesome. There's so much Whedon messed up on in the last version when he had to finish it. There was just no effort. If Zack Snyder put this together, this would have been an amazing trilogy of movies. You know what we're going to get. Now, I don't know, J.J. Abrams he's got the keys to the DC verse, and I've heard different stories and things where it's all going to go. I don't know, but personally, I would like to see this be continued. I want Zack Snyder back to finish this. Absolutely brilliant. And the interesting thing is, you don't see Superman for about three hours. I mean, you don't see him for quite a while. But when he does pop up, you are excited to see him. There is a build-up in this to bringing him back. And because I remember reading about in the old reviews about Superman, in the black costume, before all, that Whedon took over, that there's this saying, he's got the black costume on, but you're building up to Superman. That's the big sort of thing to build. And it does this beautifully in this film. I cannot wait to own this and put it in. To me, it clarifies a lot in like Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and this, and you can put the other films around this now. It just works wonderfully. It's that missing Rosetta Stone that just puts it all together beautifully. So I'm trying to go by how I saw this last night. I'm still absorbing it, and I am going to watch it again. Actually, I'm going to watch it this week with a friend, so that's going to be interesting to see his sort of views on it as well. But this is all my personal views. I'm so happy to see this. I really am. So that's my review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Thanks for watching. I had to do this. I do. Please check this out because it's fantastic. All right, guys. I will see you next week on some more videos, and stay safe. And the weather's terrible, as it always is. And not long, hopefully, till we're out of lockdown. So stay safe.